So this is going to be one of our next projects. Had a flat tire on this the other day. I believe it's like a 2017 Load Max 14,000 pound trailer. I had good luck with it. It's first issue. I mean, it's a flat tire, so it really ain't an issue, but I figured when I took the spare off, I noticed the spare had some crazy cracks in the rubber, so I got looking at all the tires, and I don't know if you can see it in the camera or not, but if you look in the tread, it's kind of hard to say, I think, but there's fine cracks in it, and where this hauls my heavy, I have mini equipment, but the excavator and loader pretty good weight. But I noticed it's just, I don't run these in the winter. I try to keep them out of the salt. I just think it helps any equipment if you can. But I noticed the frame's starting to get a little bit rusty just here and there. So what I'm going to do is power wash it today. Probably sand up some areas, wire brush it, whatever. But I'm going to paint it black. Probably paint the hubs. The rims are starting just to get a little bit of rusty, so I'm going to clean them up. But basically put 5 new tires on it. But another thing I want to explain to people too, a lot of people are like, oh, this trailer's better, that trailer's better. The problem with the trailers, this to me when I bought it was the best I could get, because you got to deduct the weight of the trailer off what you can have as a payload. So if you get a trailer that's built real heavy, it's kind of a weird thing, but legally you haul less on it. Kind of like a dump truck. When the heavier dump body you put on a dump truck, you know, depletes what you can haul dirt wise. So you got to be careful when you're setting trucks up and trailers, but this works out good to haul my mini excavator and the loader. As far as not having a CDL, I'm within 250 pounds with this hooked to my F350 pickup. I can't actually haul it with my 1-ton Ford because the combined weight will get you over the 26,000, but I kind of want to explain that in this video too, because I've seen a lot of videos out there, these guys like, oh, this trailer, that trailer. But and I do agree, some of them are made real nice, but unless you're running them on ag plates, a guy like me, you'd have to go get your CDL to haul this even on a 1-ton truck. We're going to clean it up a little bit. I'm going to get a couple new stickers made today. The rims on it to this trailer, they go to my F350. I wanted to get some extra wheels and tires set up, so I had a flat the other day and it was kind of a pain in the butt. So, all right. Got all the grease off from it. Probably do some wire brushing and some sanding. I power washed the deck because I want to treat it with something like a semi-solid stain. It's a trailer I don't plan on getting rid of, so try to keep it around for a few more years. They're starting to get that rust mark, because it's one thing I don't like about powder coat and everything. It doesn't get in like spraying does. But we'll get them cleaned up and then mount new tires. My younger days I did automotive painting quite a bit. I want to show you the difference between, like, when everybody thinks powder coating is a great thing, but this is the problem with powder coating right there. This trailer's I want to say a 2016, 2017. And even one that was on the spare that wasn't down. These trailers never get run in the winter neither. But you look at, it just isn't as good. I don't care. Like these little places, like this little crevice here, if you were spraying paint, you would spray paint. That, especially if you use like a base coat, clear coat, between the paint and the clear coat, you would have got in that. But this probably started with an air gap there and worked its way out, but it's still powder coat. You know, as far as New England goes, it doesn't work. I know guys that got small powder coat things in their garages, and they do engine pieces and front end parts. Show car maybe that never sees any weather. That I'll never be a big fan of powder coat, and that's why. This is an old 79 Ford F-150 I'm putting together. But this is a rim. I probably pulled these out of a junkyard 10 or 12 years ago. They sat behind my shed with leaves. They're stained up, they're beat up a little bit, but I'm just saying, this was a painted rim. The ones with the red and blue stripe on them, these were what they considered wagon wheel back in the day. I just think they look better. These probably will get repainted before I sell the truck, but I'm just saying, when you painted something years ago, it stayed. This was an acrylic enamel probably. Even the spare that had never been on the ground has got probably 2 miles on it to get my trailer home the other day, and that's cracked and I'm throwing it out. And I paid extra for this trailer to get the better grade, but the rubber, the tires in this country now are just, they're not what they used to be. I remember when you could buy you'd see a, you know, Radial TA performance tire, you know, that was 20 years old, and it would look just like it did when it got put on the car. You know, stuff people store their cars and whatnot. Now you buy a tire, and I don't care, you know, 5 or 6 years they start dry cracking, and then they get, like, these look good but they're unsafe, and that's the trail I haul all my heavy stuff on, but it's just frustrating. So these are the rims off the Load Max trailer that were peeling and rusted. I'm going to sand them once real quick. I got them almost done. Then I'm decided to color. I'm gonna epoxy prime them, let it dry a half hour to an hour, then I'm gonna clear coat it. I think that's the color gray I'm gonna go with rather than deal with painting them. I know a lot of people watching that will probably think that's going to run to the ground, but it really doesn't. Napa makes a clear coat. It's like an overall clear coat. And I found, I don't know, probably 8 or 9 years ago, there's a 2K primer hardener that you can put in it, and it makes it bind right up. It makes it look like you can't paint a car with it, but like rims and stuff like that, get a little bit of texture, a little bit of orange peel, but for rims and stuff, it's the way to do it. You can bail it right on. The only run you'd ever get in a rim normally is where it runs into that crack anyways, which is probably a good way to seal that. This is a rim that's probably, I'm going to say 6 or 7 years old. These were, I used to run regular steer tires on my F550 in the summer, and then in winter I'd put a traction tire on it because it was full drive. We plowed with it. But I just want to show you that primer with the clear coat over it, they last, they take a beating. Yeah, I don't know if you can see the shine, but in the camera, but looks pretty good. I power washed it today. The board's cleaned up pretty good. I've already gone around the outside edges with a paintbrush, so we just got to give it a good heavy rolling. Pretty quick way to put 80 bucks in your trailer, and I'm think I'm gonna get another gallon absorbed right in, but give it one more coat. I think it'll be good. Get a few more years out of it's worth it with the price of lumber these days. Pretty much wire brush the frame, and near the hubs, the springs. I'm going to use SEM Rust Control Black on it. It pretty much sticks to anything. It's not greasy, but that's what you'll see me doing next. The first coat I put underneath, pretty much straight out of the can. I don't mind it being thick there, but other than that, it doesn't spray through the gun well once you widen the spray out. So I've had to thin the stuff I'm putting on now. You'll see that it's a little thinner. Pretty much painted. Painted the hubs red. Do something different. Other than that, it's pretty good. I got some new stickers I'm going to stick on the side of the ramps. May give the wood one more coat of oil-based stain, but we'll see. Not brand new, but looks a little bit better. I do believe keeping your equipment looking good keeps you from getting pulled over from the DOT quite as much. I try to keep all my safety chains and stuff in real good shape, keep my stuff looking good. I feel it makes a difference. I'd rather it really does or not, I don't know. ended up going with a Hercules Power ST2. Had the 10 ply rating and stuff like the one that was on there. It's a real common tread design and tire that you see. This one's made, says it's made by Hercules, but this is a tread design you see 3 or 4 different companies use. Pretty good. I got one more sticker that's going on the back, but there's a solid pipe in the back for the ramps when they flip down. A couple years ago we got into it loading a tractor, tired or a long day, tweaked it a little bit. I couldn't heat it up enough to relax it all the way, so I took the torches and cut it, did a relax cut, and then I gotta get it closer to my garage so I can MIG weld it in, and then I'll paint the back. Other than that, it's done. The brakes and stuff all look good, so I should be good for a few years now. Figured I'd do a little bit of a close-up on the rims and tires. Like I said, that gray primer, and then you clear coat it. It matches pretty good.